Okay, this video is Trapezoids Part 2, so we're going to scroll down to where we left off. I know it cut off on that last example right here. So just quickly, I'll put this back up, is we were trying to find AB here, and so this is 6x minus 6, DC was 38, and the median was 7x minus 4. So the formula is base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 equals the median. So we added 6x minus 6 and 38 and got 6x plus 32 divided by 2 equals 7x minus 4. You multiply 2 by both sides, and we're left with 6x plus 32 equals 14x minus 8. If you subtract 6x from both sides, we get 8x. And if we added 8 to both sides, we get 40. And so divide by 8, and you get x is equal to 5. And then we're going to substitute that into AB, and you get 6 times 5 minus 6. So that would be 30 minus 6. AB is 24. Okay, so that was just following up the last video. I think it cut off before we got the final answer. All right, so now let's scroll to the next part, and here's another definition. So an isosceles trapezoid, okay, isosceles trapezoid is a trapezoid with congruent legs. Okay, so that means if these are the parallel sides, these would be the legs, and they would be congruent. And so the properties are, it has exactly one pair of parallel sides. Okay, the median is still base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 equals the length of the median. The legs, though, are now congruent, and that is only true in the isosceles trapezoid. Now, in the isosceles trapezoid, the diagonals will also be congruent, and the base angles are congruent. So the base angles, that would mean this angle and this angle are congruent. So let's just say these are 60. Okay, and then we already know that an upper base and a lower base are supplemental, so that would make this one 120, and that would make this one 120. Okay, so they could be anything, but they're going to be congruent and supplemental. All right, so here is an isosceles trapezoid. So based on the isosceles trapezoid, let's look at A, B, and C. So ADC right here is 54. So if this is 54, this is 54. And then the upper base, these have to add up to 180, so that would be 126. Yeah, and 126. So they ask for BCD, which is this one. So that one is 54. Okay, so now we're going to clear this board. We're using the same picture, but they tell us that BAD is 112. So BAD is 112. So I would go ahead and fill them all in. If this one's 112, this one is also 112. And then the base angles together, upper base and lower base, are 180. So that would make these 68. So BCD is this one right here, and that is 68. Okay, so please pause and do C yourself. ABC is 95. So that means the other base angle is also 95, and then an upper and lower base add up to 180, so that makes these 85. So they ask for ADC, it's this one right here, and it's 85 degrees. All right, now let's look at example 7. DONE is an isosceles trapezoid. So by definition, these are congruent. Okay, EDO. EDO is this angle right here, is 110. So we know that this angle right here is 110. And we know that these angles are supplemental, so they would be 70. They give us DEN. So I'm going to go ahead and write that in. We know that these are 70. Okay, and then they say DEN is 15x minus 5. So that is this angle right here. So to find x, we set 15x minus 5 equal to 70. We get 15x is equal to 75. And if we divide by 15, I believe that is 5. X is 5. All right. Now we'll look at the quick check. Again, I suggest that you pause it and try and work it yourself. ABC is this angle right here, and that is 12x minus 28, and ADC is this angle right here, and that is 5x plus 38. So we know that whatever this angle is here, B, I'll just write it, is 12x minus 28. We know that this angle has to be the same thing because they are base angles. And an upper base and a lower base are supplemental. So I know that I'm going to add this to this and set it equal to 180. So just to save space, let's add 12x and 5x, and we get 17x. And add negative 28 and a positive 38, that's going to be plus 10, and that's equal to 180. So if we subtract 10, 17x equals 170, so x will be equal to 10. Okay, last example. We have an isosceles trapezoid, and they give us PR. So PR is this diagonal. And they give us TA, which is this diagonal. And one of the properties are that diagonals are congruent. So we're just going to set 3x minus 7 equal to 20. Add 7. 3x is equal to 27. Divide by 3. And x is equal to 9. Okay, I know it's kind of a long lesson, but hopefully it all makes sense.